Welcome to Made in Papa's Woodshop. So you're a new artist. You're chainsawing. You're going to make something beautiful. You're cutting away into that log and the thing's wiggling all over the place. What are you going to do? Look at that. Very sturdy. Every direction. Okay, that works. Nice. Okay, we got it. Now, how do you make it be still, create a safer environment, be more accurate with your cuts? I have a rather simple solution that I think will fix the problem for you. We are going to take 2 pieces of 2x12 scraps that I have in the shop. I'm going to fix them together in such a way that the bottom edge here can be gripped in the sawhorse, and out the top, these nails will be sticking up through the top. The first step is to take these 4 nails, drive them through that board. I'm going to use this empty space here in the jaw horse to drive my nails through. So we've got some of the nail sticking up through, which is where we're going to drop the log on the other side. Let's drive another one through. There we go. Now we've got 2. Flip it over, and let's drive them through the other way. Now I'm going to have to shim this up somehow. Let's see. Let's use this other piece and get them started. Oh, here we go. This will work. Now, there we go. So these 4 are going to be sticking up. And the idea is that when we have a log, we're going to drop it on there so that it'll keep it from moving around this way. Hopefully it'll be more sturdy this way. Now, in order to get this thing to work, here is what I'm going to do. Give you an example here on the jaw horse. Let me flip my jaw around so that it will bite more closely. When this is assembled, it will look like this. And this will be right here in the jaw. So this will sit on top. We can carve. No danger of cutting into this, as long as you keep your saw up out of it. Whereas if it were down in here, if your carving was all the way down in here, as you're trying to cut, you've got this big piece at the bottom that is down inside the jaws. And then a lot of people don't have a jaw horse. So you're thinking, how am I going to do this? Well, you take a plank, just like I did here, and the next step is to drive really long screws down through this into whatever is stable. So you might have a stump, for example. And if that's the case, you drive these nails and get this set up. Then you drive your screws down into the top of the stump, and that secures this. I'm going to use 3 so that it'll keep it from going this way and this way and this way. And since I have a jaw horse, I'm going to actually fix mine to this plank and then grip this plank in the sawhorse. So the next step is to drill holes. And since I have this handy dandy sawhorse, I'm going to go ahead and make it take a bite and put these screws in. Get it started with one over here toward this side. I didn't have any power to my drill. And something else I wanted to point out. Don't be ashamed to use whatever you have. Like this is, I don't know, I probably paid $10 for this thing at a yard sale. And it's corded and it's clunky, but it gets the job done. And I love nice tools. I love new tools. But until I am in a position where I have to have the new thing and have the money, I just use what I've got. So let's get this set. And I am using a countersink because I want the head of the screw down below the nails to not interfere with the log when it is driven down on there. One of these days, I will have 2 nice cordless drills, and I'll keep the screw bit chucked in one and the drill bit chucked in the other, and I won't have to do this. But for now, using what I have. So let me show you how I drilled the holes, the positioning of the holes, and talk just a second about why. So I've got the holes here. I've got a nice broad base to keep it from spinning, and then another one up here. So a triangle should be enough. So I'm going to push this down in here now. And set it like it's going to be. Let's go ahead and grip that bottom piece in place. Lock it down. Now I'm going to drive these long screws down in there. Being ever so careful of those nails right there. Sinking them down below the surface. The idea is you bring your chunk of wood over here and you set it down on top of those nails, drop it good, and then take something else heavy, sledge or another big chunk of wood, pound it down on there. So now when I start to carve, it's still wiggling some, so I'm going to have to get a little more practice and a bigger nail, I think. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have much bigger nails. Okay, so we live and learn. Let me show you what I learned. All right, see here? When I dropped that hardwood down on top of this, it simply bent the nails. So I'm gonna have to get something that is much, much stronger. And I'm not sure that just large nails are gonna do it. But we'll continue this experiment until we figure it out. Now I gotta clamp it down and take it apart and go find some bigger screws. Part of being a newbie is coordinating all the skills that you do have, asking the right questions. When you have a assembly failure, a design failure, you simply don't know what you're doing, ask the right questions. So I think our right questions in this case are, what can I drive through here from this side that will be strong enough to withstand me smacking on top of this and not actually bend the nail? See this, what I tried to drop down on there, that's, let's see, what is that? I think that's a piece of red oak. And so it just did not respond happy at all. So maybe the thing I need to do is cut them short so they won't bend over. I think I'm gonna try that next. Nice, this is a nice fancy tool here. This is a battery flex. And I went ahead and spent the big bucks on that because I chainsaw carve on people's property, and I don't always have access to electricity. So it's very important for me to be able to run everything off of battery or gas. Okay, let's see. Since I've already bent these over, what do you think? Even if I cut them short, it's not gonna work. Is that what you think? I'm suspicious. But since I've already got them in there, I'm gonna try this. Okay, so I've got this big burly grip here on it, so I'm gonna take the battery out. I sure don't wanna set that thing off. Grind a finger. Let's get this out of there. And put in a cutting wheel, or put on a cutting wheel, I guess is the right preposition. My author, editor wife be more qualified to answer that question. All right, here we go. I'm gonna cut these things off and see if that helps. Ooh, those are still hot. Hot, hot, hot. I know that one is. It did it. But I don't want those little metal pieces in here because I do drive through here at times. So now let's see if we can get these sharp. Some of you already know what the result's going to be here. I don't. But if you've already got it figured out, leave me a comment that you figured it out before I did. go. Let's try it again. Actually, I gotta put the screws back in there now, don't I? Since I have the jaw horse, I don't have to put the screws back in there. I can just set it down in there hard, clamp it down, and it'll behave the same way as if the screws were in it. Alrighty, here we go. Get my little log here. And I think this time, instead of dropping it on there, I'm just gonna set it. And then I'm gonna hit it. Let's whack it with this 4-pound sledge. It is wobbling badly. Look at that. All right, it mashed every one of them flat, just like before. So now I'm gonna pull those out of there. What have you done recently where you've had to do something over and over again because your great big grand idea didn't work? Anything recently? Let me know. We can all learn from each other. And I am going to what do they call it? I'm going to put, I think it's called titles, where you can fast forward. You want to get past all the goofy experiments and see the one that actually works toward the end. By all means, feel free, jump ahead. Okay, now let me get that out of there. I know. I've got some mason nails, masonite nails. You just about can't bend those. I'm gonna give that a try. And again, if you just want to fast forward to the end, I've got this thing marked with chapters. That's what it is. I got it marked with chapters. Hey, I'll be right back with some mason nails. All right, I've got some nails for concrete. Let's try those. And I'm only going to use 3. That's another alteration I'm going to make, is to back that down to 3, because I'm thinking maybe that's too difficult to drive a log down on top of 4. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Well, you know, part of the problem is they're crooked. All right, so I'm going to try this in here. Same effect as if it already had screws in it. Here we go. Take two. Experiment number two. Number two. Set them on there. Ooh, that felt good. And then beat on it. That is working. Look at that. Look at that. Very sturdy. Every direction. Okay, that works. Nice. Okay, we got it. Now let's peel the log off of here and see how many of them I bent over or if they're all still straight. And you'll need some kind of a super bar, pry bar, to get it off of there once you get your carving done. How'd we do? Look at that. Looky there, looky there, looky there. Success. Okay, take two. Actually worked. So I used 3 nails that are made for concrete and drove them in there. All right, let's finish putting this thing together. Now I got to put the screws down in there. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I used one of the screw holes. Hey, bite that. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Jawhorse. Now I got to get my countersink back in here because I need to drill another hole. Let's see, let's put it right in here. Click, squeeze, remove, reinsert, click, go. And let's get this last one down in there. All right, there we go. That's what it looks like. If you have a Jawhorse, run 3 mason nails up through the bottom, put 3 really long screws in through the top so the heads are out of the way so that it can be bitten in something like a Jawhorse. Or, see that stump? Okay, so if I didn't have a Jawhorse, what I would do is I would take this, still put the 3 nails up through it like this, and then I would just lay this top piece on here and run the screws down into the top of the stump. Make sure your stump is fairly decent. If it's rotted out, the screws aren't going to hold. This one's got a lot of punky soft spots in it. So I would either have to use really long screws or need to get another stump. But that is the summary of how you create a device to either get your workpiece up out of the Jawhorse so that you're not in danger of hitting the teeth of the saw against the sawhorse, or you can mount it to a stump so that you can mount your workpiece on here and it'll stay put. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe if you